Hello Team Southeast, Happy New Year. Welcome to the October edition of the COMMS. In this episode, I want to highlight our Herculean workload and celebrate our collective extraordinary accomplishments during fiscal year 2022. But first, I want to recognize that many of you may still be recovering from the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. While our installations weathered the storm well, it left millions of Americans, to include family and friends, with catastrophic damage to their homes and personal belongings. We send our thoughts and prayers as they rebuild and restore normalcy in their lives. NAVFAC Southeast had an unprecedented year, capped off with several last-minute awards in the midst of Hurricane Ian. We awarded just over $1.65 billion new contracts, a command record, and delivered another $1 billion in work in place, totaling nearly $2.7 billion in volume of business. We did this with a workforce of approximately 2,000 military, civilian, and contractor personnel. That means that each of you accounted for $1.3 million of products and services to more than 700 supported organizations across the Navy, Marine Corps, and other DoD and federal agencies and non-federal entities. I believe it's important for all of us to have an understanding of the magnitude of the work you collectively accomplished in the past year. Here's a quick rundown on our contracting actions in FY22. The Navy and Marine Corps counts on us to execute the military construction and centrally managed programs. To meet mission requirements for our supported commanders, we must perform to plan in delivering these projects on time and within budget. In FY22, we awarded a combined $175 million in these programs and navigated the challenges presented by COVID, material and labor shortages, inflationary pressures, supply chain disruptions, vacancies in our teams, and so much more. Yet you still managed to deliver nearly flawless outcomes. Over the past 2 years, a number of you have been directly involved in executing the Navy's #1 infrastructure project, the modernization of the Kings Bay Dry Dock. This $613 million project had to be delivered on time to meet national security requirements. Roy Trident performed masterfully and is on track to deliver this project on time later this month. Lessons learned and best practices from this project are being applied across the NAVFAC enterprise at this moment. We continue to recover from Hurricane Sally at Naval Air Stations Pensacola and New Orleans, as well as the tornado that struck Sub-Base Kings Bay. With no advance notice, Congress appropriated $546 million in disaster recovery funding last year. You quickly responded and fully obligated that amount with just a few days to spare in the year. Really impressive. Just as the fiscal year got started, NAVFAC had to mobilize to respond to the Red Hill fuel leak and drinking water crisis in Oahu, Hawaii. Many of our teammates, experts in their technical fields, stepped up and supported this challenging recovery effort. We had a continuous stream of our on-site personnel from our environmental and financial management teams and our officers and Seabees. Thank you to all who directly supported and to those who picked up the extra workload while our teammates were responding to the crisis. The environmental team also made significant progress in completion of PFAS investigations across the region. They have reached the final stages of sampling at off-installation private drinking water wells. Additionally, the team successfully completed the Site 7 landfill cap at CBC Gulfport, removed over 3,000 scrap tires from Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, and helped advance Department of the Navy Climate Action 2030 initiatives, all while executing over 2 times their initial FY22 control for the Installation Restoration and Munitions Response Program. Then there's the daily drumbeat by our unsung heroes, the dedicated public works teams made up of in-house shops and base operating support contractors. We apply roughly $320 million annually to fund the planned and unplanned maintenance for our 26,000 inventory facilities and utility infrastructure across 17 installations. The fleet relies on this infrastructure to train our sailors, generate readiness, and sustain our warfighting platforms every day. We had a few other noteworthy events occur this year. We partnered Seabees from Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 11, homeported at CBC Gulfport. and NAVFAC contractor to jointly complete emergency repairs at Naval Air Station Corpus Christi. This unique opportunity provided CB capability and expedited the reopening of a runway critical for naval aviation training. We continue to work on the largest energy savings performance contract in DoD history at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. This $845 million project, financed over 23 years, is building a new state-of-the-art power generation plant that will deliver reliable and efficient energy for that installation. The project is on track to complete early next year. Our public works, contracting, and environmental teams set the stage for the successful privatization of the wastewater plant at Naval Station Mayport, which has been nearly 15 years in the making. A true team effort, the Defense Logistics Agency awarded a 50-year contract this past summer for ownership, operation, and maintenance of this utility system. Really great work. Our Chief Information Office is leading the way for NAVFAC in cyber securing our most critical facility-related control systems, and have established NAVFAC's first standard operating procedure for ensuring new infrastructure is safe to operate in this highly complex digital environment. Lastly, but certainly not least, our counsel, safety, financial management, public affairs, small business, and business directorate teams all provided the foundational support that was vital to ensuring the success of our mission. None of these extraordinary accomplishments would be possible without their behind-the-scenes support. Thank you for a job well done. I continue to be impressed by how this organization continuously overcomes adversity to perform at the highest levels in the enterprise. To say I'm proud of this team would be an understatement. Please take care of yourselves, and thank you again for what you do for our Navy and our nation every day.